Welcome, welcome, welcome. I know we have a small group here, so which is great because that way we can really make sure that we answer your questions. I'm gonna turn it over to Jan, who is Dan.
Yes. Hey, everybody. My name is Jan Harden. I've gotten to meet with some of y'all. I'm the partner success specialist. So any questions you have about your implementation, about how to get things going with Waterford, I'm going to be your go-to. And I'm more than happy to help you in any way possible. We want this to be something easy for you, and we want it to be a success. I can't really see because I'm sharing my screen.
Okay,
People. So
how about Robin and then Jen
Yeah. So I'm
from our
Robin,
coaching?
and I work here at Waterford with the coaches who support the families. So I am the manager over the coaches who will support your Montana families and also the entire program as a whole. I'll be monitoring that with the coaches.
And I'm Jen, and I am one of the coaches that supports families. So I'm excited to be here and get to know some of you.
Some of you may have heard from Jen or somebody else from Robin's team as they were, approaching their readiness to reach out to the families. So cool. So yeah, we have all aspects here today. So any questions you have, we promise you we can answer them. Well, we promise. I think we promise. We promise.
yes. All right. Well, to be respectful of everyone's time, I'll go ahead and jump in. And go ahead and get started. Kind of like Toby said, please stop us and just shout a question out. If you have a question, stop us. So just real quick overview. Currently, we have 1,136 students rostered with courses assigned, which is amazing. And 23 schools. So give yourself a round of applause because that is so wonderful. Congratulations to everybody. Before I move on, do these numbers look good, Kimberly, and kind of add up to what you have as well?
Well, we have met capacity at this stage of the game. So you have, some things heading your
Coming
way.
in.
So it should be right at about 1,500 at this point in time.
Love to hear that. Okay, perfect. I did see some come in. I was kind of finalizing up this morning, so we'll definitely add those in as well. All right, we want to give some shout outs. These are all the schools and districts that have had students log on and have usage right now. So congratulations and shout out to Anaconda, Belt, Bozeman, Canyon Creek, Chinook, Evergreen, Harlowton, Harve, Hayes Lodge, Hellgate, Luther, Missoula, Sydney, and Thompson Fall. Really exciting to see your kiddos getting on and the families as well. We know some districts have literally just gotten access. So we know it was impossible for you, for your name to be up here too, but just wanted to highlight and say good job to all of you who have kids already starting. Does anyone have any questions about that before I move on?
I see that Jackie. Thank you, Jackie, for correcting the pronunciation. Have-er.
You just learn it when you move to Montana.
Yeah.
Yes.
I am curious, since we have different representations here, if you all would share with us in chat what district you're from. You know,
if you don't know how to use chat, you can just say
shout it out.
Shout it out.
Yeah. Okay, we see Anna's typing. We know Janice, you're from Luther. I think, right, Luther? Awesome.
It's a little
Okay.
tiny school just up over the hill from me.
Yeah, that's great. Okay.
All right. Next, I want to give a chance for our family coaches to give an update, and also share some really exciting news. Before they give the update, right here, because you're all going to have access to this presentation, I have linked who is my district's family coach. If you click that, it is going to take you to the list and you can see your district name and who your coach is. Later, we're going to go through a lot of this and you'll be able to see more information about your coach. But if you just wanted a quick look, you can look right there. I'm going to hand it over to our coaches to kind of give a brief overview and update. Oh no.
Okay. So I guess that's me. And Robin, you can feel free to jump in anywhere here also. So we're getting going. I'm going to be honest. We are still trying to get in touch with a lot of families. So we appreciate you liaisons helping us with that. I think in the last meeting we talked about, as coaches, we are going to try to reach out to each family 2 or 3 times. And then we're probably going to lean on you to help us maybe try to get in touch with them again and let them know we're trying to reach them. So that was one thing we wanted to talk about. Also, as you can see at the bottom of this screen, we did get a Montana area code. So we're hoping that is going to help families answer their phone. Before we had an 88 number that we were calling from. And so even today as a coach, I talked to a couple families in Circle, and they did answer. So that was exciting. And I think this is a number that you can share and let them know that if we reach out to them, that it will probably be from this number. And then we want to ask you as liaisons, what can we do as coaches to help you? Or what questions do you have for us?
Oh my goodness. So sorry.
We have, is there any other support you need us to do? So that's a great question. Yeah, Nora's asking, like, what else do we need from them?
Yeah, if you let the families know once, then maybe wait and we will reach out to you. And then at that point, I don't know if all of you are working at a school and if you could make a call from the school to possibly just let them know we're trying to reach them. I'm sure all of you have the same thing. Like I get multiple spam calls every day. If I don't recognize a number, a lot of times I'm just not going to answer it. And I get so many calls. I'm actually terrible at checking my voicemail. I would love to say I'm super diligent with that, but I'm not. And I'm just assuming that a lot of these families are in the same position. And so if when we come to you, and I don't know how's best to do this, Robin, I actually was going to ask you earlier today. Can all of you liaisons see who has started and who hasn't? Or would it be best if we give you a list for your specific schools?
So let me answer this, and we're happy to help. I'm curious what everyone says. Today, as part of today, we are going to share with you one report that you can use to log in to check. However, if you need more support, or again, we're here to help you, right? We don't want you to have to wait on us to send you anything. You have full access and ownership to be able to look. So really, Nora, to answer your question, and to support what Jen is saying, looking at the data maybe once a week just to see who has gotten started. And Jan's gonna, a little bit later today, gonna show you one report. We have multiple reports, but one that you can quickly look at to see. And if you aren't sure and you exit today and you say, okay, I'm still not sure, reach out to Jan and she'll give you a personal one-to-one coaching on how to look at the data, and reach out to her as much as you need. Like, please, we weekly, daily, I mean, she's working. Jan's like, yeah,
I'm
daily. Yep. So, we're going to show you today, but we also know that in an hour or in less than an hour when we end today, tomorrow you might say, you know what? I don't remember my login. Where is it? I can't remember where that email is. Reach out to us.
Yes. And kind of what Jen was saying too, you could, before we talked about having families save that 888 number, but if they want to save this Montana number in their phone as Waterford so that they know, that's always really positive as well, because then they know it's Waterford calling. And hopefully that's a good thing for them.
Absolutely.
Do y'all have anything more to add for the family coaches? I cannot see the chat right now, so Toby, if you wouldn't mind just checking that, so I'm not skipping over any questions.
Yep. Nope. Nora just had responded with, okay, sounds good. So I think once we dive into the data, there might be some more questions. Yeah.
All right.
Can I just share one more thing really quick? Sorry, Jan.
No, please.
As many of you know, we can provide a device. I think we have 400 devices that we can provide. And we already have lots of requests, but I do want to be transparent about this. These computers are taking about 4 weeks to get to families. We're using an outside company, and that's about how long it's taking. So just so you're aware of that. And that's pretty much all I have, unless anyone has a question.
All right. We will go ahead and move on. So we have our Liaison help page that all of you are going to have access to. So I'm going to go ahead and go to that page and kind of walk you through it. And it starts with first steps. We're going to have coach information, dashboards, and then we'll go into some usage reports. So I'm just going to briefly walk you through this. So right here at the top, click this link and it's going to take you to the tech requirements. So if you have families saying, this isn't working on my computer, this is a quick thing for you to check, or, someone in your district that works on technology to see what system it needs to be operating at and what the latest update is. Right here, I just made a quick FAQ of questions that I've gotten. So just something quick for y'all to go to. If you received an email from me, what's next? I have linked the letters to send home. I know majority of people have already done that. Where do you find the Upstart codes? I have a video right here and also a Word doc. If the families need a device, how do we get one? The family coach is going to help with that. How does a family create a Waterford account? Yeah, I have that in English and Spanish linked right here. Where do I find coach information? That's also in the the digital room. Who do I contact for Waterford Upstart implementation questions? And that's going to be me. I have my email right here. So any questions you have about your implementation that has to do with Waterford, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I have families running into issues. Who do I contact? And that's going to be your family coach. You can click right here and quickly go to who your family coach is. And then I just have listed the roles for myself and then the roles for the Waterford coach. I also have some links to reports down here, and we're going to go over those shortly. All right, so right here, first step, my students are rostered. Now what? I think everyone at this meeting has already done all of this. If you haven't, here are the letters right here, letter to send home to families in Spanish and a letter to send home in English. If you have not generated your Upstart code, here is a brief video that Toby made that shows you step by step how to generate those codes. I've also linked it right here. And then we'll scroll down and we see our family coach information. If you don't know who your family coach is, you can click right here. I've highlighted the family coach new phone number, which is the Montana area code. And you can see, all right, Luther, the family coach is Jen. So we'll go back and there you go. There's beautiful Jen and some information and email and contact so that you can see that as well. Any questions so far?
I see WIBAU, Anna. I don't want to say it incorrectly. Can someone help me?
Weibo.
Weibo. Okay,
Yep.
thank you. I was going to say that. I'm curious because I know we have Luther. I know we have Anaconda. I know we have Haver. That was on the list. So Weibo, Anna, any questions from you? I feel like you might be the newest or one of the more recent ones with rosters. Are you having any problems getting to the next step, which is sending home the actually, Jan, can you scroll up the letters? So you would just simply click right on it.
So I sent home letters last week. When I had put kids into Infinite Campus, I had messed up somewhere on the back end. And so we got squared away there. They're all in correctly now. And I got all of the Upstart codes generated and sent home letters. And teachers talked to parents at parent-teacher conferences last week. So I was planning on reaching out to parents next week if they haven't got in yet. So.
Perfect. I only put you on the spot because I was like, that's a new one, and it sounds like you're rocking and rolling. So perfect.
Nope. Thank you.
Thank you.
Perfect. So I think the next question everyone has is, where do I go to see if students have even logged in? Where do I go to see the usage? So that's something I want to go over with you really quickly. This button right here is going to show you how to pull the usage report. I'm going to go over this step by step with you right now, but I want you to know that there is a place, because if you're like me after this meeting, I would totally forget how to do it. So here is going to be a step by step of how to find this usage report. Is there anyone in the meeting that would like to be a guinea pig and I can pull up your account to show the usage report and show you how to do it? And if not, that's okay. But I just thought I would ask.
That way we can see kind of some real data. We have, some fake data that we can show you, but this time it's a little bit real and it's confidential. Jackie?
I would urge you just to use generic data just because we are recording this, and if this is going to go out, we just need to protect our students' privacy at this time.
That's fair.
Absolutely. All right. I am going to pull this up. So just give me 1 minute. All right.
And then
Now
Jen, we're not seeing your screen.
Yes. Yep. just took it off really quick so that y'all didn't have to. Okay, now I'm back to my share screen. Okay, I'm going to share it right now. All right. So what you're going to do is you're going to log into your my.waterford.org using your username and password and org code that I have sent you. So when you log into that, you are going to come right here and you can go straight to dashboards. You can click district, you can click students, and this is just a quick, you can see if students have been on. And this is just really quick. I'm going to show you a different one, but I just wanted you to see that dashboards is something that you can go to. So you can see this is just a test. If a student has been on, this would show you, how many minutes. It tells you if they need action, if they're on track to meet goals at the end of the week. At the end of the year. But this is just a quick overview. And a lot of times this is just going to show you just that week. So to go to the usage report, I'm going to go back to home just so that you can see this. You can click reports right here. You can click reports right here. It's going to take you to the same thing. So I'm going to click reports. And if we wanted to pull it at the district level, you see I have district highlighted right here. I have early reading. And then I'm going to click on usage, open. And then right here, you can see how many minutes and how much, if students have logged on. Now, this is by school. So if you're like, well, I want to see every specific student in this school, I'm going to click on Claudia School, Claudia class. And I'd be able to see individual students. This is just Claudia. She's the only one in this class, but you would see multiple, all of your students. So we see Claudia logged on for an average of 9 minutes in September, 1 minute in October. Does anyone have any questions about that? Please let me know.
Does everybody know how to log into Waterford? Okay.
So I think all of our participants would primarily be using the schools view, correct? Because we don't have multiple schools in a district utilizing, like, all of our kids are typically enrolled in one, like I'm sending one school over for the district. That's what they've been enrolled in for this particular program, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. So whether, I'm sorry, Jan. So Kimberly, whether they select district or school, it's going to get them to the same place.
Okay.
District, it might be one more click, right? Just one more click, but Jan, were you gonna?
I was gonna say the same thing. If you wanted to go down to schools, it would be the same. There'd only be one school for you to select right here. So sometimes it's just easier. The first thing that pops up, it's district. It's already right here for you to click open. And then if Claudia School was the only school there, you can still click that school, click the class, and everything would populate right there. Does that make sense? Okay. How are we feeling after looking at that report? Are you feeling, okay, great, this is what I need? Are you feeling, I would like to see more reports? We want to really gauge how you all are feeling because we don't want to overload. So please let us know. You can come off mute or just let us know in the chat and say, this is great, I'm good. Or I would like to learn more. And if you'd like to learn more, we can do a breakout room and we can dive into more reports. And then if you aren't ready, you can stay right here and ask some questions. But we really wanted to really feel out how you all are feeling.
And it looks like too, I mean, we do have a small enough group, and sometimes your question may be somebody else's question. So
Right.
there are lots of different report types there. But we know with you just getting started, the dashboard and this usage report would be the very first thing. Let me just see who's gone in.
Anna,
Looks like Anna
has her
Anna
hand
has a
raised.
question.
Yeah.
Sorry, thanks. I was gonna type it. I was just curious if any of the reports show specifically like what skills the kids are working on at that time. That way we can share with the teacher, like if they're struggling on a skill or if they're stuck on a level. Just yeah, if reports are able to show that.
Absolutely. The student objective report, which unfortunately in this demo, I don't believe we have a report here, but we can, Jan, do you have the slide that shows that? This student objective?
Let me stop sharing my screen, and I can go to, I can pull that slide up so that I can show an example from a different.
It's called the objective detail report. I'm happy. I can share my screen. I actually have a screenshot of it, Jan. So
Okay, go for it.
While you're searching, and then maybe I'll show it, and then we can show you, Anna, since you asked, how to find it. Okay. Yep. So, all right. Let's see here. Okay. So y'all can see. So again, just we'll go through the steps on how to find it. But this is a report that you're I think asking for. Let me see if I can make this just a little bit bigger. Okay. There we go. Okay. So basically, this is an objective detail report, and this report you can pull by individual student, and this will tell you all. So you can choose a date range. You can choose the entire year if you're, and as they continue to use, there will be many more pages. So you have the option to choose that, and then what this is going to show you is the strand, the skill name, the standard as it relates to Montana. You may see an NA, and if you see an NA next to the standard, that means that child is either working above or below their grade level, right? So you'll see the standard, the specific learning objective, the lesson name, how many times they've attempted that lesson, their last attempt, how they did, and their score. And you'll see these sort of green check marks if they passed, if you will, if they met the passing criteria. You'll see X's if they didn't. It is not uncommon to see an 80% and an X. That means the criteria for passing was higher, 90%. Yep. So, and then these can be printed and these can be shared as part of parent-teacher conferences. The other thing that we are actively working on, that I can tell you that I'm so excited to tell you because you are the first to hear this, is like a one-page report that can be shared with families. This is nice language for teachers, but for a parent, it might be they might need a little bit of explanation by the teacher of well, what does this actually mean? And what does that mean for my child? So we are working on a one-page report that teachers can use, or that you can use to actually distribute to families, that is much more family friendly.
Thank you, Toby.
I'm going to stop sharing, and then Jan, do you want to?
I was gonna just say, so that we aren't, for student confidentiality, I put a calendar link in the chat. So if anyone does want to meet with me and me walk you through how to pull this specifically for your district, I'm happy to. So if you just want to click that and find a time that works best for you, please do that. And
a quick question on that report that you just pulled, the objective detail report. Does it let us know how much time a student spent on that lesson?
It doesn't.
Or is it just, okay. It'll just tell us which day they were working on that?
Correct.
Okay.
It'll tell you how many attempts
Mm-hmm.
they were
Okay.
working, right? So meaning if this is a specific lesson within their sequence, right? And it's a scored lesson. So generally a scored lesson, just in general, is around 3 to 5 minutes long,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So, yep. So this is if it doesn't tell you how much time they spent on this lesson, because it's generally going to be around 3 to 4 minutes, but it will tell you if the more attempts they have, that means they didn't pass it the first time.
Right. Okay.
Yep. Any other
Thanks.
questions? Yeah.
I'll quickly share my screen again, Toby, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Because I just wanted to show you all in this high spot room down here under reports. I have a reports overview that's going to describe what the usage report tells you, the progress report, and the level report. I will add another button for the objective detail report to show you how to get to that one too.
And I just put the link that Jan is going to share into chat in case
Perfect.
anyone wanted to grab it and, wanted to check it out right now.
And just to show you, the usage, that's what we went over. It's just a quick, who are students using. You can pull the progress report, and that's going to track the students' growth, the proficiency of objectives, placement level, and current level. And then the level report is just going to show you what level each child is at. Down here, I put a goal. Our goal is 1,500 minutes a year, and to complete 2 segments. So for 2 segments, it would mean if a student on that level report, if you see a student in PR1, the goal would be for them to be on PR3 at the end of the year. That would be moving 2 segments. Does that make sense?
Jan, do we have
Yes.
a document that maybe we could share that illustrates the various levels, because it might be helpful just to illustrate that, because I know last year for me it was a little tricky when I looked at these levels and didn't quite know what they meant. Sometimes you can think a student isn't progressing, but that actually wasn't the case. So I think it would be helpful if we had a reference, some sort of document, so that everyone knows what the different levels are, and how long they should be expecting a student to stay in that level before, just to indicate if they're actually making progress or not. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I will look and see what we have on that. Or Toby, if you.
Yeah. I'm actually pulling it up right now. That that I think that I of what we can show you. It's tough to it is tough to say how long a student should be on that level, right? Because every student does work a little bit at their own pace. Hold on, I lost you for a second. Let me pull everybody back up. Okay, here you go. There you are. Let me show this to you. This is I'm sort of starting at the end, and what this shows is so Jan talked about pre-reading, basic reading, fluent reading, right here, right as we look at the reading. So let me okay. So in reading, there's a pre-reading level, which is generally pre-K. We have a basic reading level, and there's some overlap here, which is pre-reading is pre-K and kindergarten. Basic reading is kindergarten first, and then fluent reading is generally second grade. So these are the different segments that we would expect kids to move through. But we also know that we have children that may be in second grade that may actually be working at a pre-reading level, right? So what Jan was talking about is if they've made 2 segments of growth, even if they're not necessarily at fluent at the end of the year, that's significant growth. Like that's significant growth, right? And that's what we want to see. We want to see some of that progress. The more they use, the more growth they're going to see. So, so now let me go back and also use this as an example, right? So this is what we call a usage and milestones. This is all on the same page, and each page lists a different grade level. If children were working at their expected level, so for example, if we have pre-K children that we would expect them to be working at a pre-reading level. This is right an average, right? If students that are using for 240 minutes at the end of month 1, we would expect to see them around 79% of pre-reading 1, and so forth, right? So these are the minutes, and this is about this is the time. So I say that to say that this is another resource that shows students where we would expect them to be. However, this also makes some assumptions about children working on their grade level, right? First grade students, grade level. So I think it's important that we really look at where children are actually starting in the program and go from there. If they're starting at a lower grade level, let's look at their usage and let's encourage them to continue to use, and we'll see that progress. We'll see them move across these segments no matter where they start. You may have a first grader starting at pre-reading 2, the beginning of pre-reading 2. They complete all of pre-reading 2, all of pre-reading 3, and basic reading 1, and by the end of the year, they're here. They're much closer to their grade level than they were when they started. Does that answer your question, Kimberly? So I think this might be a helpful resource, and we can go over this in more depth with like individual liaisons as you have questions. But since we were talking about progress, yeah.
Yep. Thanks. This is exactly what I think districts need. They need to see, where students might be. I totally get if you have a student working below grade level, that we know not every single kid follows the same path, right? But I think it's important just to note what these different levels are and the progression, so that everyone's kind of clear at what they're looking at when they are looking at this data moving forward.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And we thank you. And we know as educators that it's what does the data actually translate? This is Waterford language, basic reading, pre-reading. But what does that actually mean at the end? Children that achieve this say in first grade, children that get to this basic reading 3, or even this range here is important. Because even if children are not necessarily, it says 86% of basic reading 3, really the end of year for first grade is finishing basic reading 2 all the way through fluent reading 2. That's where we see children end up based on our research. Children that end up here in this range have met these reading milestones, which get them then ready for the next grade. So we've got these specific points, and we also have this range. So that there's wiggle room, right? Might not have a student that's going to get to 86% of basic reading 3. If they're not there, but they're right at the end of basic reading 2, guess what? They've demonstrated proficiency in these skills. They're ready for the next grade level. So there is some wiggle room, and we can spend some more time on this when you're ready. But this might be helpful for you as you're looking at progress. Okay, let's stop sharing.
We'll add that I'll add that as well. But I just think it's so important, just as Toby mentioned, that every child is their own. So if there is, a first grader and they're not ending where that says, knowing that having 2 segment growth is that child meeting their goal is, as a teacher, you met your goal. Sometimes having that is hard. I was a kindergarten teacher, so I just, having sometimes that in front of you is hard because you're like, I want them to be here, but just know they made their growth too. So, are there any other questions from anybody? I hope this was really helpful for you all. Like I said, please, if you have any questions, you can save that link that I just put in the chat. I am always, always, always more than happy to hop on a meeting with you, even if it's just for 2 minutes to show you how to do something. A lot of times it's easier to talk, rather than like try to write out your thoughts in an email. So call me. That's in my signature, my email signature too. But I will be following up, giving you that digital room so that you can have all that information. We'll add the objective detail report, and we'll add the visual of the levels to that report as well. All right. Well, we have nothing left to share on our end. Is there, Kimberly, if there's anything else you would like to add, or?
I would just thank you for your time. Thank you for all of our schools that came to join us today to get more information about this. I hope it was helpful, but definitely feel free to reach out to Jan if you need some individualized help or if you need some assistance with something. But yeah, just thanks everyone for coming today, and sorry about the little hiccup in the beginning, but we got it all ironed out, and yeah, thanks for coming.
Thanks, everybody. And I just put my email in the chat real quick too, in case you didn't have that or I haven't bugged you yet. You have it. So thank you for your time.